Hi, everyone. Welcome to my channel. This is the heartbreaking moment when a dog left to die in the woods crawls back to the road in the hope of being rescued. The poor dog had been shot in the head and was left for dead by the side of a country road. But incredibly, he managed to drag himself all the way back to the road in the hope of getting help. Passersby who spotted the dog thought it was a stray and tried to approach it, but the dog bit one of them and that ass when they realized he was in a lot of pain. They then called the police and an animal rescue team who both came to the scene and took the dog away. He was then taken to a vet and thankfully he survived his injuries. The people who found the dog said that they couldn't believe how strong he was to be able to drag himself so far. It's believed that the dog was shot in the side of the head, which very luckily missed his brain. But it did leave him paralyzed on his right side. It took him several hours to get himself from the woods to the road, but thankfully he was eventually spotted and help was on the way. When the dog first crawled out of the woods, the people who saw him thought that he was just a stray dog who had got lost and was trying to find its way home. But when he started biting at them, they realized that something was definitely wrong. One of the people who tried to help the dog said, "We were driving along when we saw what we thought was a stray dog walking along the side of the road. We slowed down to see if he needed any help, but when we stopped, he started growling and snapping. At first we thought he might have been protecting his puppies, but when we looked around, there were no puppies anywhere. He must have been in a lot of pain because he bit one of our party and that ass when we realized he was a stray. That's when we called the police. Thankfully, the police were able to call an animal rescue team who came and took the dog away." A spokeswoman for the animal rescue team said, "When we arrived at the scene, the dog was very scared and in a lot of pain. He was clearly paralyzed down his right side and we could tell he had been shot. It is a miracle he managed to drag himself out of the woods and onto the road where he was eventually seen. If he had been left much longer, he could have bled out and died. I don't know how long he was out there for, but it could have been hours. I don't know how he got the strength to get himself out of the woods, but he must have been very scared and in a lot of pain. I'm just glad that he managed to get the help he needed. The dog has since made a full recovery and is looking for a new home." The spokeswoman added, "He's a really nice dog and is looking for a new home. We think he may have been someone's pet because he is used to living with humans. Whoever owned him must have been very careless because he could have easily got hold of a gun and shot him. It's lucky that he didn't hit the dog's brain because the injury could have been much worse. It's a miracle he survived. But thankfully he's now on the road to recovery." The people who found the dog also said that they couldn't believe he had managed to survive such a serious injury. They said, "We couldn't believe our eyes when we saw what looked like a dead dog dragging itself along the road. At first we thought he was a stray, but when he started growling at us, we knew there was something wrong. We still can't believe how strong he was to be able to drag himself out of the woods. It must have been a very long time before we got there, but he must have kept going and going until he was eventually spotted. It's a miracle he survived and we are so glad he did." Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and I'll see you very soon.